Hey guys, it's Lawrence here, and today I'm gonna just simply walk you through my entrepreneurial journey from being employed, stepping away from that 9 to 5, starting my first agency, how I switched an agency and took that agency to 100k per month in literally actually a little bit under 6 months. And hopefully by sharing this journey with you, it will either remove a few bottlenecks that you might have in your business at the moment, or it might give you the confidence to start. That's what it's all about really, is just sharing everything, kind of unvarnished truth about my journey, all the steps, so you can basically take all the good stuff, learn from my mistakes. I don't know what the saying is, but it's like the best thing to do is learn from somebody else's mistakes. I can't remember the exact quote. And yeah, just tell you everything there is to know basically. So here we go. Let's kind of jump into it. So I started off by running a agency, helping local businesses get more leads, running Facebook ads, Facebook lead ads. When they were slightly less common than they are now, we were just getting our clients loads of leads, and our clients were then taking those leads and doing whatever they wanted with them. And I charged such a little amount and basically could only grow the business to like 10k per month. And that was really stretching me. I didn't have a problem signing clients, but serving them and like dealing with them when we were charging such a small amount was quite difficult. So I was part of a Discord group of other agencies, and they were kind of talking about how they're charging their clients like 1,500, 3k, 5k per month. And there's me charging like 400 per month. I thought, I've got to make a change. So I made a change and I started focusing on e-commerce brands, running paid ads for e-com businesses, and I struggled to begin with, to be honest, really struggled to sign clients. And I think a big part of that was me internally thinking that charging somebody say 2-3k a month was loads of money. And that must have come across on calls. It was a limiting belief that stopped me from growing, but eventually kind of got over it, signed a few clients, kind of replaced my previous income without having to work as hard. Fewer clients, same amount of money. We were heading in the right direction. And then I was spending money on Facebook trying to sign clients, running ads for myself to get e-com companies. And it worked sometimes it didn't. Spending, an uncomfortable amount of money. I can't remember how much it was, but I was uneasy all the time because money was going out. If we didn't get leads, if we didn't get calls on the calendar, then, I was stressing. And my girlfriend at the time, who's now my wife, she kept on trying to persuade me to do cold email. And I didn't really, I'd received cold emails before and I was just thought why do people do this? Because it obviously doesn't work. Again, a very limiting belief, kind of reoccurring concept maybe. Basically, her employer at the time had just signed an agency and she was involved in the process of signing this agency. They just signed an agency that sent them a cold email. So they sent them a cold email and they started paying them 3k per month. And I was like, oh, okay, well, it obviously works sometimes. So in the most basic thing ever, I just searched for some e-commerce brands, got their emails and literally just sent them an email from Gmail. There was no automation, there was no nothing, there was no thought process behind it. I didn't know anything about any of that stuff. And somebody replied. And so I was like, oh, okay, this is, got some legs at least. So I did a little bit more and eventually I signed a client. Then I started kind of diving into the world of cold emails and how you can automate things and systemize things. And I started to get quite good results. And I was telling people in the Discord group that I was in about, the clients I was signing, and a few of them were kind of like, oh, how are you doing it? What are you doing? So I told them about cold email, and a couple of people were like, can you teach me? So I literally just sat down and taught them, didn't charge them for it, just gave them the bare bones of what I was doing. And one of them went away and actually implemented it. The other person that I spoke to didn't, but he went away and implemented it and got results and got some calls on the calendar, signed some clients. And that's when I started to think maybe there's some legs in this. Maybe I can start doing that as an agency. And one of the reasons that I thought that was because if you're familiar with Facebook ads, iOS 14 was happening. Basically, it was becoming a lot harder to track sales through Facebook. And I was falling out of love with running ads on Facebook. And so I launched a second brand, which was basically my cold outreach agency. So I still had my e-com agency and now I've got my cold outreach agency. So I bought a bunch of domains, set up some email addresses, and I basically reached out to other agency owners and just said do you want us to get you some appointments? I'm an agency owner. This is what I've done previously. Do you want some calls on the calendar? And we started to sign clients really quickly. I started to fall more and more in love with the outreach agency and less in love with the paid ads agency, the e-com agency. And the reason being is I realized that the vehicles are just very different and one's way easier than the other. And that was reflected in basically how much money I was earning and how much enjoyment I was getting from the business, how much stress I was getting from the other business. Because when you're running paid ads for clients, like, they're on edge all the time because a lot of money is leaving their bank account every single day to pay for the ads that you are responsible for. And you're dealing with not every client, obviously, but a lot of clients, you're dealing with a very anxiety-fueled, agitated client that is spending a lot of money and they need the results. And if you're not generating them the results, or you are, but it takes time for it to, optimize and things like that, it's just can be quite a stressful experience, basically. So the beauty with outreach is that the costs are so low for everybody involved that the level of anxiety, the level of how much somebody needs to make this work drops. They obviously want to make it work and they might need to make it work from their own business, but they don't need to make it work from like a financial investment side of things because they're investing such little amount. It made my life a lot easier, a lot less stressful because our clients were less stressed, and it just made for a much nicer experience. We started signing clients, and basically fast forward 6 months, what I'd done is I ran the agency for a month, the cold outreach agency. And then I thought to myself, this has got some serious legs. I want to make sure that I'm doing everything right, everything I possibly can to make sure that this is the best possible service that I can give to my clients and just make sure that I get the most out of this. So I started working with a mentor, and they helped me structure the business a lot better, get better client results, and just help overall, basically. And we took the business from, I don't know what we did in month 1. I can't remember the breakdown, but I know by month 6, we had our first 100K month purely from the cold outreach agency. We still had some clients in the e-com business, and I've got a business partner, a right-hand man, and I basically said, I don't want to get involved in the e-com side of things anymore. Can you just run it? We won't sign any new clients, and we'll just run the e-com agency until the clients kind of disappear. We still have one client on the e-com agency that's been with us for over a year, and he just kind of ticks along quite nicely. But it's now all my energy and focus that on the cold outreach side. And I started to sit down and think, why is cold outreach such a good kind of model? Because it's definitely nicer than the e-com one. And I talked about how the clients aren't paying for ad spend, which makes life nicer. But there was more to it than that. And what I realized was, if we look back at my e-com agency, there's so many things that I needed to be proficient in order to have a successful business, right? So I needed to be good at marketing my own business through emails, through paid ads. I needed to be good at sales. I needed to be good. So that's just to get a client. And then I needed to be good at running paid ads for e-com companies. I needed to understand conversion rates. I needed to be able to do landing pages, email flows, text message flows, loads of different stuff. The list is just endless. And you're stretched so thin across so many different aspects of that business. You got to get great at selling and signing clients, and then you got to get great at a whole different skill set of getting the clients' results. So there's so many things, and you can't become great. Well, you can become great at any of them, but you can't become great at all of them. One of them is going to be better than the other, and you're going to be average at all of them, or great at one and then suck in a few. So it's just difficult to get to that level when you're a relatively small agency and you don't have, a 50-person team, for example. What I realized was that when it comes to having a cold outreach agency, I only needed to get good at one thing, and that was cold outreach. Because if I get good at cold outreach, then I can generate my own sales calls. And making sales is really easy. And the reason it's really easy is because the prospect that you managed to attract onto that sales call got there through a cold email. They are the proof that what we do works, because we were able to send them a cold email and get them onto a sales call. And we just said to prospects, look, here you are on this call from a cold email. It works, and you are living proof that it works. So we'll just do the same thing for you. How does that sound? We'll send out emails on your behalf so you can speak to your ideal prospects by sending them out an email. And I said, like, you know how like we sent you an email and there was no back and forth. You just booked into the calendar and here you are. You've got a need. We've got a solution and we're trying to figure out whether or not it works and makes sense for us to work together. We'll just do the exact same thing. You don't have to chase up with prospects. You don't have to do this. You just turn up to a sales call. And so making the sale was really easy. So all we've got to do really is get people onto the calls, and then the sales kind of look after themselves. Of course, there's a bit of selling that needs to happen and not everybody buys, but on the whole, it's much easier to sell and much quicker to sell than like an e-com service, because they want to know so many things, because they're giving you basically they're obviously giving you your service fee, but they're also giving you the keys to their business growth, their engine. They might be giving you like 40, 50, 100K a month for you to manage. And so they're not really looking to see whether or not you're worth the 2 or 3K that you're charging them. They're looking to find out whether or not you're good enough to look after 100K per month for them, especially if you're going to sign them up to a 6-month agreement. Like, they're going to give you more than $500,000. So there's a lot of looking after that needs to happen. But when it comes to cold emails, there's just not much risk involved at all. So signing clients was really easy. And then we have to get the client's results. But we already know how to do that because we're doing it for ourselves. So there's really just one skill we need to learn, which is cold outreach. And if you can master that skill, then you can get good at signing clients and delivering results. And when you get good at signing clients, you get great at delivering results. And when you deliver results, it's easier to sign clients. And then we basically created this flywheel effect, this really positive feedback loop where we got good at what we do, so we get good results. And by getting good results, we get more clients. And we get more clients means we get better results because we're learning more and more about it. And we just go around in this circle and it just self-fulfills. And that's how we were able to go from kind of 0 on month 1 up to like a kind of hockey stick 100K per month within 6 months because of that flywheel, that feedback loop that just spun around. And that's when it really hit me that like, this is such a good business model, really low barrier to entry from a client's perspective, really kind of easy for them to say yes to, and really easy for the agency, i.e. me, to deliver results, because I just need to get good at one skill as opposed to getting good at a dozen skills, which you need to for pretty much any other agency. So that's why I think that running a cold outreach agency, and for me it's cold emails, but it can be cold DMs through LinkedIn, through social media, it doesn't really matter. But basically having a cold outreach agency is, I think, the most effective way to start a business and grow a business and ultimately hit the level of financial freedom that you want. Whether you want to get, replace your 9-to-5 income, or you want to get to 10K a month, you want to get to 100K a month, whatever that number is, I feel like cold outreach agencies are very capable of getting you there, basically. And what I'm now doing as well is working with a few people that want to start their own cold outreach agency. And the reason being is it's a bit of a passion of mine. And I figured that out when we were working with some clients that needed more help than just cold email. Like, their businesses were good, but they didn't have the structures in place to actually handle the lead flow. So I was consulting a few of our clients on other areas of their business outside of cold email so that they could make the most of the leads that we were delivering for them. And I really enjoyed it. Every time I got off a call, I was more amped up and feeling better about life in general than before I took the call. I always left with this like real high because I knew how much of a positive impact I was making on this particular business owner's life. And I want to do more of it, basically. So I'm currently working with a small number of people, helping them to start and grow a cold outreach agency. And if you want to, as I say, whether you want to do something on the side while you're still working your 9-to-5 so that you can eventually become your own boss and get financial freedom, or whatever that looks like for you, or maybe you already have a cold outreach agency and you want to take things to the next level, then I might be able to help. And I'm basically just downloading my brain everything I know about the cold outreach agency world and helping my clients so that they can get the same success that I got, probably in a quicker time period as well, because there was mistakes that I made along the way, and I'm helping my clients avoid those mistakes. So if you want to start your own business, or you want to improve your current business and you want to get financially free, you want to leave your 9-to-5, and you want to work with me one-on-one to help you do that and help you start a profitable cold outreach agency so you can sign clients, make money, have a great impact, then below this video, in the description, it will explain what to do. It's not going to be difficult. Click the link in the description below, and yeah, we'll see if I can help. So thanks for watching. Hope you found this useful, and I will see you on the next one.